What is up, guys, and welcome back to the 16th episode of the Kritic movie podcast, where I talk about movies and all that other fun stuff. And as always, we got a whole lot to talk about today. A whole bunch of castings happened this week with the Batman. John Krasinski and Ryan Reynolds are teaming up. What's up with that? Kevin Feige is promoted. I thought he had a good enough job already. What's up with that? And of course, we're gonna run down some trailers that came out this week because there were some good ones. There were some that were okay, but there were some that were pretty darn good. And what was up with that? And with all that said, let's start this podcast.
Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is
Han Solo. I'm Captain of the Millennium Falcon.
Bond.
Up in the sky, it's a bird!
It's a plane!
It's Superman!
Hasta la vista, baby.
Say hello to my little friend!
Here's Johnny.
and here we go.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to the 16th episode of the Kritic movie podcast, where we talk about movies and all that other fun stuff. And I hope you are having a wonderful weekend. It is about to be the start of a wonderful weekend. I'm about to go watch Zombieland Double Tap tomorrow. see what I did there? I said I was about to go watch it, but I'm really watching it tomorrow. But I mean, I'm getting over a little bit of a sickness here, as I've said in my trailer reactions and videos that I've posted this week. Well, I only posted one, to be honest here. But we got a whole buttload of movie news to talk about today. So as always, get a snack and let's talk about some movie news. Alright, now the first topic that we'll talk about today is the Batman. Boy, look, you all know Batman is my favorite superhero of all time. Yes, some people say he's not a superhero. Well, those people are crazy. They are crazy. They don't know what they're talking about because he is a superhero. And lots of castings happened. And, I mean, there's rumors about Jonah Hill being in this movie. There's rumors about Jeffrey Wright being a Commissioner Gordon. But all of the casting that came out of Batman this week just absolutely obliterates all of that. Because we got Zoe Kravitz. Zoe Kravitz is confirmed to play Catwoman. Now, I haven't seen Big Little Lies, even though I hear great things. I mean, I hear amazing things from season 1, and I hear, like, it was good season 2, from season 2. Excuse me. But I've seen Zoe Kravitz in some other movies, not in big roles, but however, she kind of carries herself in a way that, like, yeah, I picture a Catwoman there. Like, I don't know, she just brings a certain ambiance that just feels like, yeah, I think she could take on this role of Catwoman. Like, slick and awesome character, because, like, Batman Returns, I mean, you can say what you want about the movie. I like it. I mean, it's nowhere near as good as 89's classic Batman. But, I mean, Michelle Pfeiffer is fantastic as Catwoman. Never saw the Halle Berry version, nor do I care to see it. And I'm not going to lie, I think Anne Hathaway was pretty underrated. And I don't know if you saw her on that Bat motorcycle, though, but, like, man. But I thought she was a really underrated Catwoman. I thought she was pretty good. But I think Zoe Kravitz really carries that ambiance to her that I'm like, yeah, I see that Catwoman, so I really like that choice. And then a couple days later, we find out that Jonah Hill, who is projected to be like the Riddler or Penguin, and if you guys saw, whenever I talked about it on this podcast, if you guys saw, I was like, well, I'm a big fan of Jonah Hill, which I am, but I don't know, there's something, I haven't seen, like, anything from his movies, even though he's good in them, that I'm like, oh yeah, Penguin, oh, definitely see that. Riddler, oh yeah, I definitely see that. But, I mean, I think he probably has the chops to really take on this challenge, but he dropped out for reasons unknown, so, yeah. However, we did get a new casting, I believe yesterday, Thursday, October 16th, or yeah, that is Paul Dano is going to be the Riddler, and I love this choice. I mean, my favorite performance of his is There Will Be Blood, who has the best performance of all time in Daniel Day-Lewis. Excuse me. But I love this choice. I could picture him as the Riddler. I think it's so good. Plus Matt Reeves, plus Zoe Kravitz, plus Robert Pattinson. Yes, absolutely yes. And I don't know if you guys saw this, but Michael Giacchino is tapped in to do the score for the Batman. I don't believe it's confirmed, however. But you have that. This movie. I mean, at first, look, I know I said Batman's my favorite superhero of all time. But this movie just got pushed and pushed so much that my excitement just went low. I mean, from the Ben Affleck nonsense to all the other stuff that happened after that. And then they announced Matt Reeves. And it took a while for them to really get the project going. There was no scripts or nothing. And they had to keep on rewriting it. They had to get new writers. It was just an absolute mess. And now it looks like they really found their footing. I mean, again, Zoe Kravitz, Robert Pattinson, Paul Dano. You could possibly get Michael Giacchino as your composer. And you have Matt Reeves as your director. Absolutely. Absolutely. I am hyped for this movie. As somebody who's a huge Batman fan, I am excited for this. Really excited for this. So that's my thought on those news. So to stay in the DC Warner Brothers realm. So Joker just came out. Oh my god. I'm trying to survive here. So Joker just came out this past weekend. And I loved it. And make sure to check out the spoiler review I did with Graham Cracker last weekend. And also check out my non-spoiler review that I posted on the Kid Critic channel. So Joker just came out. And there's also been a bunch of Oscar talk for good reason. I mean, Joaquin Phoenix is an absolute stud in the movie. And yeah. So this piece of news came out at the beginning of the week, I believe. Basically saying that some of the Academy are avoiding seeing the Joker. So I'm like, what? Like, what is this nonsense going on here? So I took matters into my own hands, I guess you can say, and I started reading through some of this stuff. Now, here's the thing. Before I get any further, I think if you're a part of the Academy, it's your job to see all of these films. Even if it's not your taste, even if it's a superhero, it's not even a superhero movie or a comic book movie, but it doesn't even feel like a comic book movie. It feels like a Scorsese movie. It feels more like a Scorsese movie than some of Scorsese's movies. But, I mean, it's your job to see all the movies. It truly is. I mean, it's your job. So some people are part of the Academy put out statements that are like, look, I've read some of the reviews. I don't think I can handle disturbing movies, which I get. I really do get. But again, it's your job to see these movies because it's unfair to the film and the people behind it that they don't get acknowledged because, the people part of the Academy, they don't like those films. But yes, I get it if you think it could be too disturbing for you, but it's your job. It's your job. I think that if you're part of the Academy, you have to see all these movies. And then there's those morons who are just like, I'm just not going to go see it because I have just no interest in this. I'm like, ugh, like Joker, ugh. Those people shouldn't even be a part of the Academy in the first place. But, oh my god, like, yes, again, I get if somebody thinks that they can't, I get if somebody can't handle these types of movies, because it makes sense, there's a lot of people like that, but it's your job. It's just your job. So that's kind of my thoughts on that matter. So, I mean, some people might not have the same opinion as I do, but, that's okay. Alright, now staying inside of the DC realm here. So Black Adam, The Rock was announced about 1 billion years ago. I believe at the dawn of the dinosaurs when it was announced. Either around that time or when Christ was born, around those times. But The Rock was announced to be Black Adam. And The Rock, the legend himself, posted on his Twitter that production of Black Adam starts in July of next year. Now, I know I said that the Batman went through like just a roller coaster ride. This Black Adam movie is the definition of just a whole mess of a just some whatever you want to call it. It is just a total mess with this movie, and I love The Rock, and I think he could do. Just The Rock as Black Adam with Zachary Levi as Shazam just sounds awesome. So I love this, but I have such a hard time in believing that they're gonna start making Black Adam in July of next year. I mean, I don't even know who's supposed to make this movie. I don't even know that. But I mean, yes, sure, I feel somewhat of excitement. I mean, I'm not totally familiar with Black Adam. I mean, the first time I saw him was when I played like the Injustice games. It's the first time I saw him because I don't really read many comics, I should say. But I mean, I'm not jumping up and down because we've heard this same song and dance before a million times. We all know that The Rock is a busy person. So for all we know, his schedule could just be just so bamboozled that there's just no room for him to make Black Adam. So I mean, I don't know. I just don't know. I feel no excitement yet until I see like a picture of The Rock in a Black Adam costume on set, them shooting. Then I'll start getting excited. But as of right now, nah. Just a nah. Good gosh. I'm just like, ugh. I gotta keep the throat clean. Alright. Moving on. In this comic book superhero world that Martin Scorsese loves. I'm just gonna keep on saying that. I'm just gonna keep on making Martin Scorsese comments for the rest of time. So now stay in the realm of comic book and superheroes and all that. Marvel, people think is DC's competitor, but they're truly buddies and best friends. So Kevin Feige, who handles everything and all Marvel at that place called Disney. Well, really, he handled the MCU, but not anymore. He was promoted to COO of Marvel. And now he's in control of not only the MCU and movies overall, but television shows and comic books. Now, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, why not? I mean, Kevin Feige has given you so much success. I mean, this is the most profitable franchise of all time. I don't think it's going to be very hard for a franchise to get to the level of an MCU. It's insane. But, I mean, I think it's the right move. I mean, even with all these TV shows connecting to the MCU, I mean, I don't know if Kevin Feige oversaw like all the the Loki show, the Scarlet Witch show, the Hawkeye show, and all that. But it just makes sense because again, he's just giving Disney so much success. But this also leads to the question. I think this guy was already a busy dude. Now that he's a COO, I mean, it was just announced that he was going to handle a Star Wars movie. How are you going to do that? Like, he's not going to be able to sleep, like, for 5 minutes. I don't know how he's going to do it. He's going to be drinking a bunch of 5-hour energies and monsters on, like, the daily. And it's just going to be insane. And I applaud him. I love Kevin Feige. But maybe with this promotion, he'll give other executives and producers and all that more of a chance to like really lead in there, so that way Kevin Feige doesn't really have to like do everything, because it's not like he's an octopus that has like 8 legs and could do everything all at once. But I applaud him. Hopefully he does do that, but so that way it doesn't get to the point where he's just so busy that it just gets sloppy and everything. But I'm sure he knows better. So yeah, I like this move, and I mean it's a smart decision. It's smart. It's like a duh. So we'll see what happens with this guy. And again, staying in this Marvel universe, Deadpool. That is right. So Ryan Reynolds posted a picture on his Instagram that he was at Marvel Studios having a meeting with whoever, the writers, producers, I don't know, Kevin Feige, I don't know, somebody. And the writers of Deadpool came out and said that Deadpool will stay rated R. Now, obviously, Bob Iger, I believe, has said before, I think at D23, that it will stay rated R. So, obviously, that's a great thing, because if Deadpool's not rated R, then you basically don't have Deadpool, because he's the merc with the mouth. He does whatever, says whatever. That's basically his motto. So I love this. I really have nothing to say other than yay, it's great. It's gonna stay rated R. There's really nothing to add on to that, because I mean, you take out the rated R nature, then it's just non-Deadpool. Like, if you take out the rated R and the grittiness of, I don't know, Zombieland, I guess, since that just came out, it could still be lots of fun if executed correctly. But Deadpool, however, I mean, even Venom is another example. Even though I wasn't the biggest fan of Venom, the problem with Venom wasn't that it was rated R, it was that it was just a mess of a movie. But Deadpool is one of those rare films where if it's not rated R, then that's tough. But I mean, as far as putting him into other MCU films, I'm totally fine with that, because I think it's gonna be so cool. I mean, somebody brought up the what if Deadpool went to Wakanda. That would be amazing. I'm sure it'd be absolutely hilarious, and I'm looking forward to see what they do with this Deadpool character with Ryan Reynolds, who I know he just absolutely loves this character. And speaking of Ryan Reynolds and John Krasinski are teaming up to do a picture together, and this one it's with Paramount. They're currently in negotiations for the project, and right now they're saying that Krasinski will write and star and direct it, and Ryan Reynolds will co-star and produce it. Excuse me. And they're basically saying that Ryan Reynolds and John Krasinski are teaming up for a film called Imaginary Friends, which is a fantastical comedy that's currently being in the process of being picked up by Paramount. Now, before I get started, let me take a sip of my water here. Oh, man. Man, this cough is like killing me today. Oh my god. I can't believe I'm doing this. But you gotta do what you gotta do. Right, Kid Critic fans out there. Which is probably one of you. One of two people listening. But so I mean, this is a perfect duo. This is an absolute perfect duo. Just seeing John Krasinski and Ryan Reynolds just rip off each other. That sounds fantastic. But just seeing them seeing them go at it with each other. There you go. Just seeing them go at it with each other sounds just like a total blast. It's just so much fun. I'm sure Ryan Reynolds is gonna play the imaginary friend, because he's just that type of fella. I mean, Ryan Reynolds, I mean, he looks like he could be a great imaginary friend. I would love to have Ryan Reynolds as an imaginary friend, and I'm excited. This is a great duo. I think John Krasinski has definitely established himself as a director, because he did such a beautiful job with The Quiet Place, which was my favorite film of last year. I do have it on Blu-ray. Got it last year for Black Friday. Speaking of Black Friday, it's coming up soon, so I'm very excited for that. Excuse me. But Ryan Reynolds, John Krasinski directing and co-writing, sounds awesome. Just sounds absolutely awesome. The premise, yes, just absolutely yes, and I cannot wait to see this. Now, obviously, no release date has come up for this film, obviously, because, I mean, Paramount is in talks for picking up the movie. I mean, this movie's just at the very early stages, but I'm sure when it comes out, I'll most likely see it in a theater, which Edward Norton is not a big fan of theaters, by the way, which leads into our next topic. Oh, man, that was a great transition. That's pretty exciting. So Edward Norton basically put out a quote that he thinks that the theaters aren't really offering the greatest experiences, and this is what he says. So basically, he says that it's the theater chains that are destroying the theatrical experience, period, full stop, and no one else. I want people to literally walk into their theater, and find the manager and say, if this looks dark, you're giving me back my money, because I'm paying, and at the ArcLight, I'm paying premium for a premium experience. Now look, I agree, sort of, because look, if you're at a theater and they're just doing a poor job of presenting the movie, and then like the service is just horrible. That happens. That happens at some theaters, and maybe that happened to our buddy Ed here, our buddy Edward Norton. And maybe he just came off of a bad experience at a movie theater, which I totally get. Because, I mean, if you guys saw, I just went to go watch The Shining at a Regal a couple weeks ago. I mean, at the beginning, like, the sound was off, and it was just, like, all funky. But they went in there, they fixed it, no problem. Watched the rest of the movie, it was fine. It was fine. When it comes to that stuff, my tolerance is pretty low. As long as you fix it early, like if it's about to be the end of the movie, you haven't fixed it, then what are you doing? But like if it's the beginning of the films, and they fix it, then I have no problem. I have no problem with that. So I see where he's coming from. However, I think that movie theater does a pretty good job with offering a great movie theater experience. I just think the problem with having a great movie theater experience isn't the movie theater. I think it's more the people. Now, I love watching a movie with people. However, like seeing Endgame, I want people to be cheering. That's the greatest thing ever. It adds to the experience and the feeling. However, I mean, when you're just acting obnoxious, like if you're yelling for no reason, that's a problem. That is a problem. And yes, you can even put it on the movie theater for not having people checking in there saying, what's up? And AMC does that from time to time, but not as often as I think they should. But either though, I mean, I do sneak food in. Yeah, that's right. Good Critic sneaks food in to a movie, which I know is against the law, but it's just so much fun. But then that would increase the chances of Kid Critic being caught. So I mean that's bad for me, but that also takes care of the people who are just being absolutely obnoxious and like what is this? Like when I went to go see The Lion King, that was bad. Like it was literally bad. Like people were taking out their phones, which I have a high tolerance for. Like when it comes to like theater problems, if you fix it right away, alright, cool. When you take out your phone, oh no, you don't do that, because the screen of your phone, I don't care if you have it on low brightness, it's a dark room, it's gonna stick out in the middle of that darkness, alright? Oh, it just absolutely irks me, and I think that's what I think that's more of the problem than the movie theater is. I think it's more of the audience you go see a movie with. Now, not 85% of the time, my movie theater experience tends to be good. Like you had that moment in The Shining, which was fine. You fixed it easily. The Lion King was easily my worst movie theater experience, but again, it wasn't the movie theater's fault. It was the audience's fault. Either though the movie theater should have people checking in, but again, it increases the chances of Kid Critic being caught sneaking food in. But I get where he's coming from, but I don't think it's the theater's fault. So I have to disagree with him on that. But I mean, I don't go to many ArcLights, so maybe ArcLight is a problem. I don't know. I went to go watch, I think the last movie I literally went to watch on ArcLight was probably the last Pirates of the Caribbean movie, probably. And that movie was not good at all. That movie stunk. So yeah, that movie is bad, but I like ArcLights. I think ArcLights are pretty good. So yeah. Oh snap! Oh snap! Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we just have breaking news here. We got breaking news coming in hot. No way, Jose. This is absolutely huge. Barney, that is right. Barney, the big, huge, cuddly purple dinosaur. They're making a feature film of Barney the dinosaur. That is breaking news there, folks. It just dropped today. Wow. That has me excited there. Now, look, if you guys have not seen the Barney TV show, what are you doing with your lives? Alright, so this is literally what just came out. So Daniel Kaluuya, who is obviously the Get Out star, who was nominated for an Oscar, he was in Widows just this past year. He's in the Queen and Slim movie, I believe it's called. And I love Daniel Kaluuya. I think he's a great young actor. out there, and him and his company, 59% Productions, is making a Barney the Purple Dinosaur movie. Yes, 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 yes. On all accounts, and Daniel Kaluuya himself came out with a quote that says, "Barney was an ambiguous figure in many of our childhoods. Then he disappeared into the shadows." I know, right? That's pretty, brutal. "Left misunderstood," he says. "We're excited to explore this compelling modern-day hero and see if his message of 'I love you, you love me' can stand the test of time." Now look, I know Barney the Dinosaur is a great, cuddly character who is for kids, alright? But this take that Daniel Kaluuya just brought up has me, joking aside, has me pretty excited because, you've never seen this with any children's IP. This sounds awesome. And like I said before, I've seen the Barney TV show. It's fantastic. You say Breaking Bad's the best television show of all time. You say Sons of Anarchy is the best television show of all time. You say The Sopranos is the best television show of all time. You say Game of Thrones is the best television show of all time. No. Barney is. That's right. Barney, the Purple Dinosaur, is the best television show of all time. Period. Nothing. You can't say anything because your opinion is not valid if you don't say Barney is the best television show of all time. Gosh. Sheesh. No, I'm just kidding, Kid Critic. Come on, we can't have that attitude around here. But anyways, excuse me. But I like this. I don't like this. I love this idea. I think Daniel Kaluuya knows what he's doing. Him and his 59% production company, I'm sure, along with Mattel, obviously, I think this is going to be great. Hopefully, maybe there's going to be a horror theme in there. That's going to be fun. You could make a horror movie off of Chuck E. Cheese, too. That could be great. Can you imagine a Chuck E. Cheese horror movie with a Barney horror movie? Put that together. That sounds awesome. But a Barney movie that's taken seriously like this, I love this. I absolutely love this. Now, you could also run into the issue of, well, maybe kids think, oh, this is a kids movie. They're making a movie off of Barney. However, Barney doesn't air as much anymore, which is a crime. But, so maybe most kids now don't know what Barney is, which is a valid point that Kid Critic just made. So, but you also could run into that issue. We'll just never know. But I'm excited for this. Props to Daniel Kaluuya for taking a risk, because this is a risk. So I love this idea. So now, going in. So film. Let me start off let me say this instead. So Zombieland Double Tap, which is the sequel to Zombieland, which came out 10 years ago. 10 years ago. Boy, does time fly. But Zombieland Double Tap comes out this weekend. So excited to see it. Comes out Saturday, but obviously the reactions came out and all the reviews came out at the beginning of the week. And I know the film just came out, so you've probably already seen it before I even have. But I just thought, you know what? Let's talk about some of these reactions. Now, I'm excited for this movie. I'm so excited. The first one, I think, is one of the best zombie movies of all time. I love that movie so much. I just love that first zombie film. So let's talk about some of these reactions here. I think I'm just going to read 6. Because, it's not like the movie's a month away. The movie's already out, so it doesn't really matter as much. So, Brandon Davis says, Zombieland Double Tap is like a time machine to 2009. I loved it. If you love the first movie, you'll love this one. It's hilarious. The original cast has the same magic, and the newcomers only add to the fun. It's an absolute blast. Time to nut up or shut up. And that sounds awesome. That's exactly what I want from this film. It's a fun action zombie film with tons of great comedy, and I'm sure the cast is great. Digital Spy says, Zombieland 2 is a nostalgic trip back... Oh, took a little bit of a jump there. Zombieland 2 is a nostalgic trip back to 2009, despite being set in 2019, and the 10 years haven't updated its sense of humor. The fresh faces of Zoe Dutch and Rosario Dawson brings a welcome new dynamic to the group. If you love the first, you'll be satisfied with the sequel. You're welcome, America. So again, kind of has the same beats of the last one. I think I'm going to read 4 more. Matt Walsh says, got to see this one tonight. Enjoyed it thoroughly. Thanks for the laughs at Zombieland. You made me laugh good. Really enjoyed that cast and pace. Okay. Scott Menzel He says Zombieland Double Tap is a bloody blast. Let's see what he did there. The long-awaited sequel is well worth a 10-year wait. A twisted blend of comedy and horror with bigger and badder zombies. The entire cast is great, but Zoe Dutch and as Madison steals every scene and is the film's MVP. That's awesome. I mean, I thought she looked funny in the trailers, which, by the way, I really enjoyed the trailers. So I'm sure they'll have I'm sure that her character is just gonna be like just a total blast and lots of fun to see on screen. Nukem Dukem says, quick Zombieland 2 non-spoiler review. The movie is a lot of fun, definitely more comedic. The new additional cast didn't overbear the original cast. There's a mid-credit and after-credit scenes. Like Marvel movies, we'll have a full reveal later tonight. That's good to know. Alright, last one here. Zombury17 says, went to Zombieland premiere. The film was like the Godzilla of zombie movies. So much fun. And again, this is exactly what I want. I'm not expecting best movie of the year material out of this. I mean, I love what they did with the trailers. Everything that I'm hearing, the cast is great. The chemistry is back. Tons of fun. Comedy works. It feels like the 2009 version, and it was well worth the wait. It's totally satisfying, and you'll love it. Plus, you get a bonus mid and post-credit scene, which I love. So, I'm excited for this. Again, I'm seeing it tomorrow, so look out for the review, which probably will come out tomorrow. So, I'm very excited for this. So, to talk about really the final topic here. So, trailers. So a couple trailers came out this year, so I thought, well, I mean, I already have trailer reactions for these, so you can just go watch them. But I just thought, you know what? I'll just give my brief thoughts of them, but then you can go watch my trailer reactions. However, one of these 3 trailers I did not do a trailer reaction for because I didn't know much of the IP, but we'll get to that trailer soon. So let's go down to this trailer rundown, which is going to be a little bit a new segment, I guess you could say, on this very podcast, where at the end of every episode, if there's a trailer that came out, I'll be talking about it, unless if it's like a big Marvel movie or Star Wars movie. Hint, hint, wink, wink. Actually, speaking of Star Wars movie, hold on, let me say the story here real quick. So, an episode 9 trailer was rumored to either come out this week on Monday Night Football or next week on Monday Night Football. So I was thinking, I'm like, okay, so this week you have the Lions and the Packers, and I'm thinking, well, that's a pretty good matchup. You know, these teams going head to head, rivals, they're doing pretty solid right now. So I'm thinking maybe I think Disney could probably drop the trailer here. So I got into my Jedi robe. That's right. I got into my Jedi robe. I set up the camera, set up the light, put it into where I have my television, got ready, was waiting for the halftime show because that's usually where they play it because of the last, like they did it for Last Jedi, Force Awakens, where they played the trailer. So I was there. I was jumping up and down. Awesome. I couldn't wait. No trailer. And it was bad on me because I didn't really read much into it. Because it was really just John Boyega's, like, I don't know, somebody part of John Boyega's team that said, oh, trailer this Monday, but everything else was against it. So maybe I should have read more into it. So now, next week, which I believe is Jets, Patriots, by the way, Patriots are going to just destroy the Jets. I'm not a Patriots fan, though, at all. But I guess the trailer's going to come out Monday, so look out for that. But anyways, let's get down to this trailer rundown here. So I did that for no reason. So the first trailer we're going to run down here really quick is the Bombshell trailer. Again, make sure to check out the trailer reaction. But I love this trailer. I wasn't the biggest fan of the first trailer, but this one was awesome. Charlize Theron, you can't even see her in this movie. I didn't even know John Lithgow was in this film. Like, the makeup was just awesome that they did on him. Excuse me. But I didn't even notice him. Margot Robbie looks great. What's her face? Nicole Kidman looks fantastic. You have a cast like this, and they all look great. They look like they're handling the topic well. I hear good things out of this movie, so I can't wait to see this film. It's definitely going to make an Oscar push, obviously. But you know, oh my god. I wrap this up quick or else my cough is going to explode. And then another movie that dropped a trailer, make sure to check out the trailer action, was The Jungle Cruise. Now, I don't think this movie's going to make much of a push for the Oscars, but, I mean, this movie looks fun. It looks fun. It looks like a fun adventure film. Some people compare this to Indiana Jones, which makes sense. And I mean, you have The Rock in there, who is a star. You have Emily Blunt there, who is both a star and a great actress. You put that together with The Jungle Cruise, and that sounds awesome. I know some people have a hesitation for this film because, well, it's based off of a Disney ride, which is tons of fun. I mean, okay, it's not tons of fun. It's a good cool-off ride at Disneyland. But I know some people have a hesitation because it's based off of a ride. But remember, the first Pirates of the Caribbean film was based off of the ride, which is another awesome cool-off ride. And that movie turned out to be really good. Some of the other films in the franchise, not so much. But I am looking forward to it. I won't say I'm excited, but I'm looking forward to it. And the last trailer we'll be talking about here is Robert Downey Jr.'s Doolittle. And look, I know a lot of people are poo-pooing all over this trailer, but I mean, I've never seen the Eddie Murphy one. I hear some mediocre things for people who have seen the film. Like if it just came out last year, it came out in the 80s, or late 80s, early 90s, I think, something like that. But this is Robert Downey Jr.'s take on Doolittle. I don't know who's directing the film. There's been a bunch of drama behind the scenes with this movie, like epic, like drama here. Like we're talking major drama. And I mean, I don't have any of the stuff about that on here, so I don't really know much other than that it's big drama. But I gotta be honest, as somebody who doesn't know much about the Doolittle IP, other than he talks to animals and has like some English accent, which I think Robert Downey Jr. did a fine job of pulling off the accent, but I thought it looked fine. I'm not gonna lie, I thought it looked fine. Excuse me, my throat, man, it's bad. But I thought it looked fine. It comes out in January, which is known as the toilet bowl month. It goes up against Bad Boys for Life. If this movie turns out to suck, if Bad Boys for Life turns out to suck, I mean, the trailer didn't look so... It looked fine. I'd say that. I mean, January is not going to be a very good month. This is not. But I am, it's coming out. But I wouldn't say I hated this trailer. Like when I watched, I'm like, you know what? That was cute. I liked it. As somebody who doesn't know much about the Doolittle IP again, but I thought, you know what? It was fine. Whatever. I might watch it. We'll see. I like that Robert Downey Jr. guy. We'll see what happens. So with that said, that's it for this episode of the Kid Critic Movie Podcast. We talk about movies and all that other fun stuff, and I gotta end it here, or else I'm just gonna die of this horrendous coffee. We went pretty far in. We've got almost 40 minutes. So that's great. So with that said, tell me down in the comment section below, what did you think of some of the topics we covered on this installment of the Kid Critic Movie Podcast? And don't forget to like and subscribe, because that is very important. And as always, in every single episode of this very podcast, look out for the next episode of this very podcast. And peace.